All right, the answer key. I figured I'm going to work them and post the answers, so I may as well post a video of me working them and talking my way through them. So I'm going to work the odds for worksheet 1. Let's see, cosine over cotangent equals sine. Again, basic rule of thumb is, well, constant rule is always work on one side only. And how you pick the side is you usually go with the more complicated side and hope that it simplifies to the easier side. So the more complicated side is obviously the left-hand side. So cosine of x, can't do much with that. But cotangent of x, that I could rewrite as cosine over sine. And fraction over fraction, that's a little bit tricky for some of us to know what's allowed to cancel. So I think I'm going to do the keep it, change it, flip it thing. Keep the top one, flip the bottom one, and what do you know, the cosines cancel and I'm left with sine of x, which is what I was going for. Number 3. Negative cotangent times sine equals negative cosine. Again, pick one side, but pick the more complicated side. Clearly that's the left-hand side for this one. So negative cosine over sine times sine. Well, they don't get much easier than that one. The sines cancel and I'm left with negative cosine, which is exactly what's on the other side. So I'm good. That was a quick one. Number 5. 1 over cotangent equals secant times sine. I think this one you could argue either way as to which one is more complicated and which one you'd rather mess with, because cotangent is kind of complicated, but it's only one thing. This thing has two things, but sine's not difficult and it's not a fraction. So I think this is definitely one you could work either way. I think I'm going to work on the left-hand side. So 1 over cotangent is cosine over sine. Again, I'm peeking ahead, trying to make it match that. Let's do the keep it, change it, flip it thing. Keep the top, change the multiplication, flip the bottom. And I keep peeking ahead. This is looking good. I like this because I got the sine. That kind of matches. Right, sine and sine. And then secant I know is 1 over cosine, so that's right there. 1 over cosine is secant of x. And sine of x can just stay as it is. And so it matches, and we're good. Again, that one you definitely could have worked on the other side and landed at 1 over cotangent. So either way. Number 7. That looks a whole lot like number 3. In fact, I'm not even going to do it because it's nearly exactly like number 3. Number 9 is really similar to one we worked in notes, so I'm going to pass on number 9. Number 10 looks pretty similar to one we worked in notes. Guess I should do one more to show you. 8 has a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I guess we could try number 8 and see what happens with number 8. So let's do number 8. It's clear which side to work on, I think. The left-hand side is crazy looking. Cotangent times tangent over secant. Cotangent times tangent. Well, those are reciprocals of one another, so I could handle this a couple different ways. I could write them in terms of sines and cosines, and everything would cancel. Or I could write cotangent as 1 over tangent. And then rather than writing tangent as anything else, I'm going to leave it as tangent because then they would cancel out. I think I'm just going to leave secant on the bottom as well because I know, I've peeked ahead, I know that 1 over secant is cosine, so I know I'm almost there. Tangents will cancel. 1 over secant of x is cosine of x. And so we're good. Alright, so that didn't take long. Hopefully you finish the others in an equally quick amount of time.